everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Two wide receivers will be looking to be #1 targets on the field in today's game. It's Edelman's Patriots going up against Tate's Lions. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. You know, Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think he identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
The first carry for Amir Abdullah. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The former first-round pick, Shea McClellan, in on the stop. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft it deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Detroit. 59 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
We're waiting.
On first down, Abdullah. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year, and that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they?
It changed everything for them because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a third down back, the guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner, and I think that limited his effectiveness at doing what he does best. Amir Abdullah was drafted to be their lead runner. If they keep him healthy, that'll help the Lions offense in 2017.
Second and goal to go now. On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Still third down.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal. Now Stafford on third and goal. Finding time. And this is going to be incomplete.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it third down. Third and long, it's Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Gronkowski may have had to miss the Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his teammates, never hung his head through the injury, celebrated with them all the way through the title.
We've seen superstars in the past, when their team does well without them, they're happy, but they recede into the background, right? They get out of the way because it does hurt them a little bit. They do have pride. They want to feel like, hey, without me, they may take a little bit of a step back. But with Gronk, you never saw that. You saw him with him every step of the way, cheering his team on, happy for their success. They went 11-0 without him in 2016, but I know this, they don't want to try it again.
No,
they want the big fella back. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Brady now to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop...
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. After the interception, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And Tate just finished his 7th NFL season. First 4 in Seattle, last 3 Detroit. And each of those 3 years, 90 or more receptions. Finished this season with 91 catches, over 1,000 yards.
And I saw him expand his game in 2016. I saw him operate out wide in the slot. Also came into the backfield and got carries and then ran routes from there. His yards after catch really jumped back up in 2016. And Golden Tate has shown that he's more than capable of being a #1 receiver in the NFL. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where's prime.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amir Abdullah, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need to rush to almost get to the quarter.
Oh, this is blocked. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. A little 360. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Brady. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And it's second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to back the ball away as they did there.
Brady going to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Either they know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Lions starting up on their opening drive. Jones is wide open on the deep pass. He ends up picking up a yard before heading out of bounds. Lions will stall out and settle for a field goal. 4th down from the 22. Williams is reading the play and comes away with it, ending the drive. Offense out now following the interception. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and that goes as a 23-yard touchdown. Lions up now by 9. Patriots have it late in the second. The pass ends up being picked off. Wilson since happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2. Davis, deep. I gotta go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Second down following the run. Brady to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Third and 4. Shotgun now for Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
The offense behind the chains after the infraction. It's now third down and 14. On play action, it's Brady. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Brady and Edelman hook up for a big one. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Screen pass to Blunt. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blunt, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are back within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel, but they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, here's Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, it's Stafford. Complete here to the right to Bolden. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Ebron's got it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run here. Abdullah. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Ends up a nice 2nd down for them.
LeGarrette Blount was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Back to throw. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown. And barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game.
And now we've got a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point in this situation, this little time left, takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Now inside the final minute, can they get it and hold on? Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The D for the Pats. The Patriots heading back onto the field now. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range? Because a field goal would win it.
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead, whatever you do. Don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
So maybe tight but not too tight. Right?
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. One last throw here for Stanford. Now a desperation throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49.